Most people think success in business comes down to just talent. But after working with entrepreneurs, leaders, and executives for years, I've realized something very different. Talent alone doesn't determine who wins. There's actually two forces that shape every leader's trajectory. It's their talent and their mindset. When you combine both of those variables, every leader falls into four categories. Some build empires, some of them destroy their own potential. But before we break this down, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel for more content on business, leadership, and personal growth. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Antonio Minolfi. I work with entrepreneurs, executives, and business leaders on strategy, leadership, and building organizations that actually scale. Now let's break this down. Every leader falls into one of four categories: A talent and A mindset, A talent and B mindset, B talent and A mindset, and B talent and B mindset. The rarest and most dangerous competitor in business is someone who has both high skill and elite mindset. For example, the biggest trap is A talent with B mindset. These are people who look impressive, but they are inconsistent. They have big wins, but they lack discipline, coachability, and it could be long-term growth. But the people who win long-term are B talent with A mindset. They're not who start with the most skill set, but they are disciplined, their work ethic is there, and their willingness to improve eventually outperform the natural talent. So you could see someone on the field. They might run very fast for the ball. You might see someone who is very talented on the footwork when dribbling the ball, but when they make the goal or they miss the goal or they celebrate or they have a bad game, all of a sudden their emotions pour out. They might be lashing out in different areas. They can't keep their cool. They can't keep their calm. They're up and down in their emotions. They might have great talent and it might get them to win a couple games, to turn a couple heads, but long term, who wants to be around that person? Let's bring that to business. When it comes to really strong wins or when it comes to really strong opportunities, shaking great hands, being in those rooms, how do you react? When we're in that room, when we're developing our talent, we're developing the leaders underneath us, how do they respond? Who do you want to spend more time with? Someone who is up and down or someone who is just right here? No matter what happens, I know skill set we can develop, but if their willingness is there and they want to improve, what is needed to pour more into that person? Maybe it's more of the soft skills. Maybe it's when they're in that conversation, it's how you adapt, how you nurture the relationship, how you actually build and structure maybe tangible roadmap for the entrepreneur. What is necessary? I know there's something so special about someone who shows up late night, weekends, you give them a call, they're there. Why? Because they want to learn, they want to develop, versus someone who thinks they already have it and there's not much there to pour into because they have a very strong ego. But that ego is only going to get them so far. When in business, when on the field, when developing a new opportunity, it's how we react during the times that we need us the most. Who do you want to spend more time with? Who is someone who, you can sit and have a great conversation and long term, I know they're going to come through because they have the discipline and their willingness to eventually outperform. Everything could be taught and there's opportunity to rebuild that mindset and stay so disciplined during even the toughest times. They even say, I like being around that person. You never know when they're having a bad day or you never know if they're having the best of days because they're always the same. There's always a smile. There's always that energy. There's always that aura about them where it's so attractive. You don't want to change anything. Same thing on the field, off the field, in the sales meeting, in that high level decision-making opportunity. What is it for you? What is it for your team? Who do I want to spend long term with? I want the person who might be a B in talent, but an A in mindset, and an A in mindset will outpace everybody else long term. So a question for you, as you watch this video, as you think about it, who came to mind? Who might not be someone that is the best and most attractive player in your team right now, but long-term, they're there. Long-term, you know that if I just spend a little bit more time with this person, if I'm able to spend a little bit more time, they're more in my negotiation meetings, they're more in the boardroom with me, we're having conversations, and we're actually developing, but their talent might not be there yet. Their mindset is rock solid. Question, who is that for you? Drop in the comments below.